wasn't there last time.
I can give you a recap, but none of it will be true.
What happened to Maddie last time on their trip?
I don't know. We didn't cover it yet.
Rebecca, I bet you give us a quick recap of what went down.
Okay. Man, I guess so much of last time was about Bo giving his speech, trying to get people to come with him to Rostov. We managed to get 8 people to go. We went to we went to Rostov and we found out that I asked if selling I did my best to spell this out. Selenius is dead. And so are 5 sword lords, but they were the assholes. So, maybe not. Too bad. Yeah, there is a final blade guillotine in Rostov that they're using to kill people, which is great. The Black Sovereign lost control of Chesiv in Numeria. It doesn't mean anything to me, but that was something we found out. Dragons are not particularly welcome in Rostov, we found out. Let's see.
I would say that you determined that bit was the coral connection. They weren't specifically dragons, but the dragon-like, dragon-blooded types.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah, so that's kind of it. There's a lot of movement in Bo's storyline about getting people and going to Rostov to kind of start this whole thing. And that's most of what I wrote down. I know that
That's about right.
Kara was trying to start like a band of mercenaries, but I don't know how far she got on that.
All right. Bo, Cora, and Ace were traveling, as was Maddie, but Kara, you had stayed there, so did you want to earn income over the course of the month?
Sure. I am doing duels and basically getting income from that. I think you get paid. I think you get money from duels.
Yeah, you win bets.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make me a earn income. You can do athletics. Your choice of level 5 to 7, depending on how difficult you wanted to, how difficult the bets you were taking.
You know what? I'm gonna do 7. I wanna test myself, and I'm gonna do the whole 30 days. Fuck it, go big or go home. Yes, crit success.
Went big and got rewarded for it.
Oh man, 90 gold pieces. Let's go throw that in the pile. That was super good.
Pull up the map of Golarion. Let's see, where is Maddie along their trip? Maddie was going down here, hit this place, went down, got this, moved over, out there, continued on their journey down for another month. Should probably be around Casimir by this point. Let me check one more thing. All right, so Maddie has been hopping ships over and over, correct, on the way down?
Yes. Yes. Every time the ship stops, Maddie finds a new ship.
All right, that has unfortunately slowed down progress a little bit, but nothing too much, given that she's taking a fairly long journey through pretty densely populated areas along this riverway. However, while Maddie is sailing down a larger portion of the river, it starts becoming much rockier. The ship is being moved a great deal more. You can see that the shore, it's almost at the horizon on both sides. The river has gotten very big by this point. And over the course of the night, I need you to make me a perception check.
Oh boy. One perception check. Blind GM roll. Let's go.
That is solid. You managed to wake up almost with a supernatural awareness of something being off. The ship isn't rocking too bad, but it's in the middle of the night and you just wake up and, the hairs standing on the back of your neck. You feel something is wrong.
Maddie will pick up her weapon and look outside of her cabin or the common area, wherever she's sleeping.
All right. Looking outside of the, the porthole on the side of the ship, you can't see too much in the dead of night, at least not from here, but you do see some flashes of light that seem to be coming from your right, so straight ahead of the ship, from the angle you're looking at. Just sort of very brief flashes to the sky. You don't hear anything, though, just suddenly it lights up and then it disappears. Sort of like distant lightning.
Gotcha. Maddie's gonna go out to the deck and make sure that the crew are aware of this.
Right, you get up to the top deck and you see that the crew of the ship were apparently not as disciplined as you may have otherwise liked, as most of them appear to be completely drunk. Most of them having passed out, and the few that are conscious are more or less, on the verge of the falling unconscious, just sort of in a drunken stupor. And now standing on the top deck and being able to look forward from the ship, Maddie can see that there is a massive storm directly ahead of the ship. But it's not just any storm. There are dark clouds in the sky for sure, and you do see that the bright lights come flashing through the clouds. But you notice that there are two beings, large elemental beings, that are at the heart of this storm, and seem to be in the middle of a fight, not half a mile out from you all.
Oh,
the ship is heading directly into it.
Okay, well,
You also notice that the water is getting pulled towards it, and the ship is moving faster and faster.
Maddie's gonna cast Figment and use it to create sounds of alarm as she starts yelling as well. Just, hey, we got trouble!
All right, you start ringing an alarm bell using Figment, and you get a few people in a drunken stupor starting to wake up, not fully get what the hell's going on, but they are clearly not sober yet, having just recently passed out, so you're not getting the A-team, really.
That's okay.
Fortunately, you also do hear that there are some people down below the deck that seem to hear.
Maddie's gonna run to the wheel of the ship.
You head up to the quarterdeck, you're at the wheel of the ship. You can see that the storm is rather close now. The ship is literally being drawn into it. As you see water, the water of the river is almost being lifted up off the ground to join the torrent of spinning winds and lightning strikes that are being exchanged throughout these two large elemental beings.
Maddie is going to try to steer the ship around the storm the best she can. Which is not at all, but, she's gonna try.
All right, let's see. A sailing ship. I need you to make Oh, I guess because of people. No, we need one that represents. Okay, I think this would make sense. Go ahead and make me either a sailing lore check or an athletics check to keep control of the wheel.
Athletics check it is. Alrighty. Blind check or
It can be open. You will know
yay.
these or not.
Let's re-roll that. Try not to
Sure?
die at sea. All right, acceptable. I didn't just go, wheel, funk. Oh, that's not supposed to disconnect.
Unfortunately, still a bit too low. You start trying to tug on the wheel, turn it, do something to try to move the ship in a direction that isn't going to bring it directly into this torrent of winds and lightning. But unfortunately, you just can't get a solid grip on the wheel. You grab it, you try to twist, you try to turn it to the side, but it's fighting you at every step of the way, and the force is just too much, and you can't keep a solid grip on it. The wheel ends up spinning outside of your control as the ship turns its broadside towards the storm, and you can feel it starting to lift.
Lift?
Yep, lift up from the water, with the water into the storm.
Well, that thing's bad.
Yeah, pretty bad. There are other people up and trying to, what's it called, take down the sails and whatnot, do anything that can reduce the amount of wind that the ship is catching. But it's a scramble.
All right, well, Maddie can driving the ship no longer does anything because boats don't fly. So Maddie, not knowing what else to do, is gonna take a minute and cast water breathing on herself, just in case.
All right, go ahead and make me a reflex save as the ship starts to buck wildly as it starts to fly like fucking Dorothy's house in The Wizard of Oz.
Ooh, that's real bad.
Are you keeping that?
I'm gonna keep that my one hero point for a real emergency.
All right, the ship bucks dangerously, and you end up falling down onto your side. You see a bunch of others doing the same. Some unfortunate souls who are near the edge of the ship. When the thing bucks, they are bounced up, and they end up going off the side. You hear one person let out a Wilhelm scream just for the sake of it. However, you on your back, you feel yourself starting to slide along the ship as it tilts, and you feel like you're about to fall off. Give me an athletics, acrobatics, or something else that you can argue to try to stop yourself from plummeting off the side of the ship.
Okay.
If you want to, you may want to plummet off the side of the ship.
Nope. Also, it helps if I roll the right score when I'm rolling dice. I rolled acrobatics earlier, which was real dumb. That's why I couldn't hold the
Oh.
wheel. I was doing the
Oh.
wrong action. Let's try a proper athletics check to save my life. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that one. I'm gonna take that hero point. I'm gonna need it.
Yep. All right, so Maddie goes to grab onto something to slow her fall. She's sliding down the side of the ship at an angle. She sees that the sides of the ship, the railing, um, there's an area that she could like try to grab it, but when she grabs onto it, the thing cracks, splinters, and she ends up falling off the side of the ship. By this point, the ship looks like it's about 100 feet into the air, and Maddie is in free fall.
Okay.
However, what's Maddie's reaction to being in free fall in the middle of the storm? She can't see what's down below her, so she doesn't know if there's land or water or what.
Let me double check a quick roll. Pathfinder 2E, Soul Forger. Or is it Soulsmith? I forget which one's which. Come on. Mouse is acting up. Okay, this is the right one. So it should be armor only. Damn, I'm one level too low to have a fly speed. Maddie's going to do what any reasonable person does in this situation, and panic and flap her wings. I mean arms, because she doesn't have wings.
All right. And Maddie goes into free fall. Roll me a percentile.
74.
So that's a good percentile roll. Maddie is in complete free fall, flapping her arms to try to get whatever resistance she can, futilely for sure. She sees that the elemental creatures are striking at one another as the ship just sort of flies off far away from Maddie at this point, getting consumed. And not a second later, the thing just starts to shatter into bits. Wood getting splintered and thrown about the storm. Maddie falls, hitting large bits of water, like large parts of the river that have also been pulled up, little streams in the middle of the air. She goes crashing through them just to fall down below them, and ends up landing, fortunately, in the water. At least the water that's grounded, but she is far from out of it. You will end up taking, I will reduce it a little bit. No, actually, it would hit like a solid rock when you're falling from that height.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to end up taking 50 fall damage as you smash into the water rather hard. And give me a fortitude save.
I'm not dead!
All right, and even though you smash into the ground, you smash into the water that's as hard as the ground, and you're able to survive the blow. You are also able to resist the shock of being hit, and maintain your ability to move around and whatnot. The water is still, in a state of constant disarray, throwing you around and whatnot. But you are now at least close to the ground, the water that hasn't been lifted up. What do you want to do? Actually, what armor are you wearing?
Currently, Maddie isn't wearing her armor because it summons whenever she's attacked. So,
Okay, good.
However, what I can do is, how long
Just
does
checking
that
if she was
last?
gonna sink.
She's probably gonna sink here in a moment, but I can't think of a better way to handle this situation. How long does it take for that? Okay, Maddie is going to summon her armor, but she's going to summon it using the Soul Forger dedication ability, the Manifest Sword Forged armament. So it's going to have, not you, hang on. Adaptable Persona. It's going to give her a swim speed for 1 minute.
Ooh, very good.
It's equal to my land speed, so Maddie is gonna swim like her life depends on it, because it does. Once the ability goes away after the 1 minute, she'll have the armor go back to her soul space.
Okay. The armor is. Does it have regular bulk?
Yeah, it's still armor when it's summoned.
And what kind of armor is it?
It is.
Like, is it heavier armor? Or is it like light armor?
It's medium. It's medium. It's breastplate.
Okay, I would say just give me an athletics. No hard modifier or anything for the storm because you have the swim speed and all that, but just to try to keep yourself. Well, I guess even if you sink down, it's not the worst thing, but let's just see.
I will hero that. Yeah.
All right, you are swimming against the tide as best you can. The heavy armor is giving you a swim speed, which is helping immensely with fighting against the currents of the water. But unfortunately, the armor is also heavy and is pulling you down. Fortunately, though, as you get pulled down deeper into the water, it gets more and more stable and less, dangerous and whatnot. You see that the bottom of this area isn't actually that far down. You imagine that some of the water that would normally fill up this place is, up in the air at the moment, so it's a little bit shallower than it otherwise would be. And you estimate you're probably 30, 35 feet down by the time that your swimming has brought you down to sort of the bottom of the waterbed. And roll me a perception.
Then the water orm showed up.
All right. While you are moving along the waterbed, swimming the best you can with the heavier armor. Fortunately, the water breathing is letting you stay down there. You notice something glimmering in the what is the type of dirt found in the bottom of the water?
Silt?
Silt?
Yeah, like the river floor would be easy ways
Yeah.
to say it.
Yeah, you see something shimmering in there.
Well, as long as I'm down here, might as well go take a quick look. I don't know how to escape this situation, so let's
You're
see what I can
escaping it
find.
just fine at the moment. You're feeling like you're probably out of the worst of it, in all honesty. So long as
Until
you can stay underwater. So long as you
until
can
the
stay underwater.
until those elements step to the left, then I'm fucking. But I'll swim over.
All right, you swim over, and looking down, you see that there is at the waterbed, the very bottom of it, you see something shimmering gold.
I pick it up.
You pick it up. It appears to be a canteen, gold-plated canteen.
All right, well that's super weird to find down in a river.
Yep.
Maddie
But
will
look shiny.
just pocket it in a pocket.
Yep.
For the moment, and continue moving as far away as she can.
All right, and keep moving further and further away. Go ahead and roll me another D100.
67.
All right. Fortunately, you managed to just beat the odds. It's going to be 1 to 66. Beat the odds. One of the elementals creating a further complication for you, and you are able to successfully move along the waterbed until you feel like you're getting closer and closer to the surface. The water is getting more sporadic and dangerous. But fortunately, you are more distant, and you see that you are rising up to the shore.
All right, Maddie will go to the shore as fast as possible.
All right. Between swimming, like sort of jumping, to get yourself up before the armor pulls you back down, you're able to get back up to the surface and pull yourself onto land. Give me an athletics check.
That's the hand.
All right, you start trying to move your way away from this storm, but increasingly more the power of the storm just keeps knocking you around and throwing you about, and you will end up taking an additional 18 points of damage as you make your retreat from the blast zone, if you will, of this elemental fight. This is more or less just you keeping your feet on the ground, keeping yourself from getting lifted up and then slammed into the earth, avoiding things smashing into you, and so on. And you take another 18 as you slip away and finally reach the outskirts of their battle. no longer in immediate danger, unless they decide to move the fighting your way.
Yep, gotta keep moving. I'm gonna assume that they're that they are actively moving, and that they could, and probably will, come in my direction.
All right. At one point, while you are in your final retreat from this place, you look at the shoreline, or rather, as you look out at the storm, you see that there is an island beneath these fighting elemental beings. Yeah. And otherwise, you are moving into the forest, and let's see, there is a riverway, and there are two ways the rivers splinter off from this fight. You are currently on the shore between two of these rivers. One of them heads to your left, one heads to the right. The island and area that the elementals are fighting in is straight ahead of you. Which way do you want to head?
Uh,
If you have a compass, that could also help you here.
I'm sure a compass would be great. You know what? I have no good way of knowing what direction I should head because of the storm. So the moment I get once I am a little bit of ways, and I've got that little ford, I am going to cast come on, mouse, work with me here. Cozy cabin, and I'm just gonna hunker down.
All right, you hunker down for the night.
If they come towards me, I'm fucked anyways, in all honesty. Maybe the cabin will stand up better than me running on my feet.
All right, you manage to get into the forest a little ways, find a nice area that would be protected from the worst parts of the elements of the storm, and you then, hunker down in your cozy cabin. Anything else that you're doing?
Uh, Maddie will, dry off and just hunker down for the night. Maddie's gonna wait for this storm to pass, and once there's, sunlight, I can tell time and what direction the sun is going. Like, I can then determine directions and figure out where I should be kind of heading. Hopefully.
All right, and fortunately for the rest of the night, the storm doesn't head your way. It does sound like the storm is traveling northward. Or sorry, you wouldn't know the direction of it, but in the end, you will know that it's heading northward once you know the direction the following day, and it's going away from you. Um, yeah, and if you ever end up peeking back out just to take a look at it, as the storm travel, it seems like the fighting between these elementals is also moving northward, sort of the way that a fight sways. Those two creatures aren't just stuck in this one spot, they are moving generally in that direction, bringing the storm with them. The following morning comes around, you were able to, see the sun and all that, and determine that the river to your right is heading southward.
Awesome. um, if I look back at that island that was in, where the elementals were, is there anything noteworthy about it from a distance?
Yes, it's a fairly large island, from what you can tell, at a distance, and you see that there is some forest, sorry, not like a full dense forest, but you see that there is a decent amount of trees upon the island, and there are a few buildings out there.
Damn.
They seem to be, uh, in rough shape, but not completely destroyed. You kind of wonder
Alright.
how they managed to survive that.
Yeah. But I really don't want to slow down my adventure anymore.
Yep.
Though I do also need healing. Lots of healing. Because one night of rest does not heal me up to full. But Maddie will switch out her spells once she's rested, and get on her horse and head south.
All right. That'll bring us to the end of that month. That will be Maddie's adventure that we missed last month. Maddie travels. So let's get to month 9, I believe, May. Or did I miss notes for that one?
No, I think we just did
April, right?
April. Yeah, we didn't move on to May yet.
Alright, cool. We head on to May. No new news comes in for May, which is probably a good thing. No news, good news. Well, potentially. And
End of the world, guys. We fucked up.
all right, what is our rest of contingent of folks doing for this month?
We're probably starting to build Ace's place as our little hideaway.
All right, you setting it up in the city?
Yeah, and
Mhm.
I've started going around because I have business cards already, offering to help people fix things, like help people fix their houses and stuff like that. Or I know there wasn't a lot of destruction, but whatever I can do magically to make people's lives easier and kind of, because I know I don't have the charismatic personality to throw around. The only thing I have is the ability to do magic that normal people can't do. So that is what I will be throwing around. Trying to sort of just be a face that people see and they know, like, oh, that lady is helpful. She's kind of mean, but when you talk to her, she can help you. And that's sort of what I want to do. And I won't ask for payment. If people pay me, I'll take it, but I won't ask for it.
So let me ask, how are you going about setting up a place? Like, are you looking to buy a place here? Are you trying to find a place that you can rent? Are you finding a place that's abandoned and renovating it? Like, how do you want to go about like building your spot?
What seems to be the general feeling when it comes to that? Like, are there a lot of abandoned places? Are there any empty lots? Does it look like they have buildings for sale? Or, like, what sort of rule of law is happening here and what
I
would
would say
not?
that when you're in the sort of like richer part of the town where the sword lords' houses are set up, you know that there is greater security and all that, and so there are already built structures that are for sale. A few of them, not a huge number, but a few. Some of them have been condemned, or at least, if not condemned, then quartered off for uh, what's it called, for probably some type of crime or another. Having heard about what has happened to a few sword lords, you think that's probably related. When you
Okay.
get to sort of the lower end of the city, you see a lot more sort of vacancies. Um, it's not an excessive amount, but for a city that is in the middle of political turmoil, people disappear and they sort of leave their houses behind because there's nobody to really take them over. And there are a fair few spots like that.
Okay, that's kind of sad. I is there like a, I don't know the setup of the city. I don't want to be with the sword lords, but I don't want to be in the slums. I would like to be in the middle ground if that's possible.
Yeah, so when you get to the middle ground, you're going to find sort of a mix between the two. That's sort of
Mm-hmm.
like the gradient, right?
Right.
Where it's wealthy enough that there is an interest on the part of the owners to keep the house and, to try to, sell it to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but there's still enough damage that there are abandoned homes. So you get sort of a mixture between the two. There's some that you probably could get away with squatting in. There are others that you would probably have to buy or at least lease.
Okay. I don't know if I want to take over an abandoned property, but then again,
Mhm. I mean, you probably
if
want to
I
buy,
don't,
right?
who is? Huh?
Well, do you have the money for that? I know you said you had a lot, but like to like buy a
Okay.
place.
A lot is
That's why I'm
relative.
asking. Yeah.
Okay, when I say a lot, I don't mean a lot. I mean some.
Some. Okay.
How much would it cost to buy a place?
Let's see. Are you
Not on the fancier side. I would probably
The
do
middle.
like middle to low end of the middle area.
are
The
you looking to rent,
Mm-mm.
mortgage, or buy outright?
Oh,
Believe it
God.
or not, this is actually a choice we can make because there are rules for this.
buy would probably be the
Fucking
idea,
bad.
right?
Buy
Pathfinder.
outright.
All right, so a poor home, like a thatch hut, would be 100 gold to buy, or 2 gold to mortgage, for a 10-year period. A wood cottage is 300 gold to buy. This would be a comfortable home. 300 gold to buy, or 6 gold per month for a 10-year mortgage period. A stone home that is quality is 2,000 gold, or a 40 gold per month mortgage.
I don't think you have that, do you?
2,000 gold?
Yeah.
No.
No, you don't got
No,
2,000?
I don't have 300 gold.
Oh.
Now, to rent, if you wanted to rent, a thatch hut is 8 gold per month. A wood cottage is 20 gold per month, and a stone quality home is 80 gold per month.
Why wouldn't I just fucking mortgage it? That's so silly.
Because you're put into the 10-year commitment effectively. So you
Right, right.
it's cheaper, but you're committed.
Right. Well, if we are planning on this being a
Mhm.
rebel base, then I don't want to rent it.
That's
I'm
that's
like,
what I'm hoping. I
hey,
was softly trying to push you
to,
to.
we need to dig a basement for a rebel
Yeah,
group.
I didn't want our landlord to be coming over while we're
Well,
planning our rebels.
yeah, right. Oh, that's just the landlord, guys. He's just here to. The toilet was leaking, so
You guys
I had
didn't
him
change the
come
locks,
over.
did you? We're planning a coup. Please leave.
Additionally, there are 2 more tiers over. I'm not going to say the last one because it's a villa, a super expensive place. But you can
Lovely.
get a wood, stone, and metal manse, a fine home.
Man's.
It costs 6,000 gold
What's the
to buy
mortgage?
outright. Mortgage
Yeah.
is 120 gold per month, which is
Yeah.
still within reach for a bunch of you.
Yeah.
Or to rent 240 gold per month.
Yeah, let's rent a fine manse.
I mean,
Just putting it out there that is an option.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you laying out all the options. All right. Well, what do these abandoned homes look like?
you know what? The
Those
sun's
would be
running minute.
thatch huts.
Only thatch huts? Only the
maybe a
poor
wood.
people? Okay.
You maybe could find a wood cottage, and if you do a particularly good perception check while searching the middle area, you might be able to find a stone house that's abandoned.
Well,
But remember that the stone houses are more valuable, so it's more likely someone's going to come looking after it eventually.
yeah. Yeah, well, we do know that I am the best at perception in this group.
Luckily, you have others in the group that can help.
I have an 11. I could try.
You have an 11 perception, that's it?
I haven't put points into it, but I am a monk, so I trained in it, I guess.
Oh, okay.
You could also use diplomacy to ask people for help if
Oh,
you
well.
find
Okay.
people who are willing to help you.
That I'm
I
good at.
have
Can you help us find a house to seal real quick? Just a small thing.
I have streetwise where I can use my society modifier instead of diplomacy to gather information.
Okay, yeah, that works.
Could I do that?
That would actually be spot on, yeah, because streetwise you find out oh yeah, you listen. Oh yeah, did you hear Old Man Smithers died? Blah 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 blah. Well, I guess his house is gonna sit there for a while. Ooh.
Okay. So I would like to do that. Roll a society check to see if I can ascertain any place that would be more doable, like some sort of place that is possibly abandoned, because I don't want us to be in a thatched house. That just sounds all sorts of badness. But we can afford somewhere super nice. So
If you don't want a standalone building, you can get an apartment, which is cheaper. It's typically half the cost that's shown there to have an apartment.
Yeah.
We are going to be running her shop out of it in like the mornings. I don't know if we want an apartment for something like that.
I mean, it's not an Etsy where I can just do all the packaging in my house and ship it out. You know, it like has to have a storefront. So
I would also say that you might be able to reach out to some of those people who would come looking for the house that have vested interests, and who might be willing to, go in for a share of the business that you're building. It's possible.
wow. Okay.
Just throwing out options.
Yeah, no. Lots of options. Okay. Okay.
National flood warning. Or local flood warning.
Don't get flooded out, Sess. Gosh. We need a place, and we need to be able to fucking have people come over and not be like, okay, well, the apartment quiet hours are 10, so we can't have any rousing speeches after that, okay?
You wanna put both our names on a 10-year mortgage for a manse?
No, a manse?
I mean, it's 6 to go between us per month.
That we have to get here. It has to get here.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
It's simple. You just pay more in advance. Like if you know you're going to be gone for 6 months, then just pay for 6 months, and then you can come back later.
Yeah. What's 60 times 6 months?
Your business has got to be able to get us some money. Well, two magic places.
Yeah. Okay. Oh God. Okay.
What's the other one? Stonehouse?
Yeah. And Wood Cottage.
We at least want a stone house, right? I think a wood cottage would be too small for your business and whatever hidden shit we're trying to do.
I thought we were gonna build a basement, and you guys were gonna do all
Sure,
that in the
but
basement.
I mean, I think if we want to do that, then we need to like look at plots of land instead of buildings, and like construct our own shit.
Yeah, but then we have to pay for construction. We have to figure out how expensive that is. I'm sure it's not cheap.
It's probably not, but you know.
It would probably become a time investment, which you could do over the next few months. I'd probably make it like half the cost, but it takes you a few months to actually get the place built.
Okay, I'm not mad about that.
Yeah.
I would, if we could do that, a stone building. Oh God, 1,000 gold.
It'd be 1,000 gold, yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be 1,000 gold to buy outright, or you could take a loan for it and you could pay off that mortgage over 10 years of 20 gold per month.
We could do that.
Surely we can scrounge up
20 a month?
Gold a month. Yeah.
We could do that.
I mean, if I throw down 100 gold, then that's like, the first 5 months.
While you all consider, I need to be right back real quick. And my dog's going to the vet. I got to give her some pills.
Okay.
Quick thing to consider too, just like what do they do if you don't pay your taxes here? Is it the guillotine? It's probably the guillotine.
Well, there's no rule of law right now.
We're gonna try to kill those people, so the guillotine's probably not gonna be the thing for long.
But I mean, like, if you have any ideas, Steve, that would be great.
Oh yeah, well typically when I think magic shop, I think wooden cottage. That's just me. I think a wooden cottage is more than enough for what you want to do. The basement is the thing you want to invest in. Like you probably want like a steel door down the basement, like make a secret door that's decently good. Like I would just go with the wood cottage and just make that like the front, and then have the basement be like the more fortified position.
Yeah, I mean, it's an option. I don't know.
How much gold do you have, Rebecca?
200.
200. So you couldn't buy a wood cottage outright, but you could do the investment.
I could buy a wooden cottage outright.
Yeah,
Oh, you're right. It's only 3. It's 3. It's the thatched shit that's 100. Wooden
Yeah.
cottage is 300.
I wouldn't get the thatch shut. That's just
Right, but he said that it would be half if we took a couple of months to build it ourselves. So then I could buy it outright.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not opposed to a wooden cottage, and then there are scrolls that I could get that turn shit into stone. So if we get our hands on spell scrolls, then I could turn stuff into stone.
yeah. You could start off with a wooden cottage and just like renovate it later on to make it better if you want. But honestly, I think like a wooden cottage is fine.
Then we don't have, then I don't want to have to worry about a fucking mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to worry about that in real life. I don't worry about a game.
I don't got nothing to throw down. I spent all my money on the wagons and rations for the 8 people.
But yeah, do you have a decent crafting? Like Cody? Or you not have crafting?
No, I don't have any crafting.
Okay. So we basically have to follow the expert with Rebecca. Because Rebecca's the craft master. Meanwhile, in the rivers outside of Restov, Core's there. I got a brand new dance and I call it the swim. I do the swim. I do the swim.
Must be nice to swim in a river without worrying about your life.
Yeah. I was just having a bad time all around. We're gonna go on a quick trip to Absalom, guys. Be right back. Ah!
It's the best.
Yep. When you took that extra 18 damage, I was just like, is he down? Is she down?
No, I got to 26 health.
We're tough now. Tough guys.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Hello. So I think we're settled on buying a wooden cottage outright, but taking a couple of months to build it ourselves.
All right. So that'll be 150 gold for sort of the plot of land and materials.
Uh-huh. Sorry. Just choking to death a little bit.
Home ownership.
Oh, God.
I can give
Even
you
if-
8 gold if you want.
Yeah, buddy? You'll give
Yeah.
me 8 gold?
That's what I got. Alright.
I don't want it.
Even if fantasy, their mortgage term.
Oh. Listen, the wagons are gonna be great for moving lumber, right?
All right, who wants to go about actually doing the building of the house?
Well, that's what we got people for.
Yeah, I'm just curious who's gonna like sort of lead that up.
Me.
In other words, who wants to do the crafting check?
Oh,
I do.
yeah,
I'm
nice.
gonna send Bo around to, first of all, I know he wants to be the Golden Prince Rogarvia man, but we're not ready for
Okay.
that. So I want him to go around hawking my business. You can be in a little disguise or something. I don't know, buddy.
He's
But
already
that's what-
dyed his hair and put on sunglasses.
Put on sunglasses. You know what? The biggest envy I have of men is the ability to like grow a beard and
Yeah.
just be a completely different fucking person.
Totally different person.
It's incredible.
Yeah, but you have to understand there are downsides with that.
Yeah.
As an example, I am in my late 30s now at this point in my life, and I still look like a fucking child without a beard. Okay, it's straight in.
I'll never
It's just
shave
meme
mine
I
off
just
again.
shared in Guild. In Discord. It's that meme there.
Yes, but completely different person. It's amazing. You're a shapeshifter. It's amazing. Anyways, so that's what I will force Bo to do.
Yeah.
Well, not force.
No, we work for you in the daytime.
Strongly imply. And I'll manage all the other people who are building.
So in the day is when we're going to be doing things like that. But also throughout this month, there's going to be a sort of on-off type situation. Everyone's going to be working and trying to help build the place, and we're all Ace's employees and work for her, and that's our cover and blah blah. But there's sort of like long periods of like on and off. So like you'll work for either this whole day, or you'll work for half the day, and then the other half of the day, or the day you're off, you go out into rest off, and the entire month is for gathering information, just eavesdropping on things, trying to find out any sort of information on the Galt people, trying to find out more information on the Sword Lords and the current situation, potential ways to contact Sword Lords, potential dirt on the Galt people, how people of Restov are feeling about this, if there's any other hints of, resistance against this type of people, just anything in general. But that the whole month will be building and info gathering. No actual action.
Cody, also keep a lookout for any orphans.
Okay, yes.
That didn't come out as creepy or weird or anything.
That is specifically a Bo thing, because he doesn't want to take these 8 people that he barely got and say, hey, look for children that don't have parents. Asa loves them. So, Bo will look for orphans. to
Employers. I don't understand. They're my employees. Why is it weird?
Bo's like, listen, I understood in Mivon you were giving these children homes and purposes. It's kind of weird you're doing it again. Just saying. Maybe we should just open an orphanage for you if this is your thing.
Orphanages, they don't have jobs.
Okay,
this is a
yes.
job.
No, I understand.
think
You
there
want to
are
put the
orphans
children
everywhere?
to work.
There's orphans everywhere. They all need jobs, and they need somebody to watch out for them.
I don't think the jobs are the first thing that orphans need. But we'll go with it. I guess it's something for them.
Well, they need money, right?
I guess, yes.
All right. Well, I mean, if you have a better idea,
No,
who we can recruit to be information gatherers.
I'm not saying I'm not going to find the orphans. I'm just saying, the children need, like, maybe love before they need a job. But I guess
I don't
eventually.
know, how many times have you been starving to death and wanted a hug instead of bread?
Okay. Some could say that's quite filling. A good hug.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not that filling.
Why do the orphans like that? I'll go find you orphans, okay?
Thank you. In comparison, how big is Mivon versus Restov?
Restov's bigger, right?
I believe so. Give me 1 second to check this out.
It's not a metropolis like Daggermark, but it's one step below, I'm pretty sure.
The Wiki doesn't have it. Okay, I think I have it in my notes on the server. Locations, Mivon, right, 1,300 people. Whereas Rostov is roughly 19,000 people. Sorry. So yeah, it's a good bit larger.
19,000.
It's a big
That's
place.
a lot of people.
It's a
Sorry,
big place.
I said that wrong on the first one. For Mivon, it's 13,000 people in Mivon, and in Rostov, it's 19,000 people.
Okay.
So
So
it's
I mean,
about 50% larger.
that
big.
is big. That's a lot
Yeah.
bigger. Okay.
It is a large city. It's a level 9 city.
Awesome.
Which is, I believe, 2 larger than what we have for Mivon. Yep, Mivon's level 7.
There's definitely gonna be needy orphans
Yeah,
here.
Bo.
Perfect.
I was gonna say Bo feels bad because he knows he's gonna find orphans.
But make sure they're clever, okay?
Oh,
If they steal from you, that's a good sign.
I have nothing to steal from me.
I know.
Cool.
Try and look rich, okay? When you do that walk that you do,
Okay.
you know the one, right?
Sure. They can steal my hundreds of rations off of me.
No, those are the workers who are building shit.
Just have a coin purse that's filled with fake coins and a little note that says, "Need a job? Come here." There's that pickpocket the purse.
It's like those nuns that are like, "I left you a tip," and it's a
Yeah.
$100 bill.
It's
like
a
Jesus
mini
is real.
a mini Bible, but instead it's Ace's business cards. Who comes up to the children dirty and crying on the streets and the alleyways. He's like, "Here, children, take this. Fill your bellies," and it's just Ace's business cards. Yeah, that'll be Boja. He has the people out looking for info, and he'll try to keep his ear out too, but he does know that the orphans are very helpful, and jokes aside, it does give them a purpose and, you know, a bunch of other shit in a home, so
You need to justify.
Bo will help power on the Mother Emperor legacy.
I thought you said Mother Emperor, and I was like, yes, perfect.
Mother Emperor.
All right. Let's see. All right, so Asa ends up with a top hat. Or, sorry, not a top hat, a hard hat. And she very much has the vibe of the, you know, I'm gonna go down to the dig site, you know, that type of person. He shows up and bosses around all the workers and whatnot over the course of the month. Go ahead and give me a couple crafting checks. Let's
Just
see how this goes.
comes up
Sure.
there with her hard hat, and there's 8 Mavonians that thought they were going to be killing people that are pissed off.
Take it out on the rocks. God, they're so useless. Alright, are these naked?
Naked?
You know what I mean.
Public role, I
Oh,
assume.
public, yes.
The Mavonians have clothes.
These rolls can bear all.
Okay. Alright. Okay, let's go. Alright, how many would you like?
2.
Okay,
Just for the month.
let's see. Ivan?
Good.
Alright, not bad. 2. Excellent.
Ooh,
Even
this would
better.
be
Very nice.
like.
Okay, and then for the second month, go ahead and give me 2 more, just because it's going to be the 2-month project.
$25 is still good.
Do I want? I'll
up to
burn
you.
a hero point to re-roll it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Nice.
Okay. And then last one. And I will also use another hero point for that one.
Damn.
All right. You know,
I mean, still high 30s for
a
most
little
of
bit
them.
better.
So that's good.
Let's see.
It's just a wood shack too. We're doing fine. We're doing fine.
All right. Over the course of working, Asa, you are able to find a few creative solutions and whatnot of cost-saving measures. And instead of needing to spend 150 gold on materials, you end up needing to only spend 125 gold on materials. So if you already subtracted the 150, give yourself 25 back.
Yay! Awesome. Okay.
All right. Meanwhile, during those months, however, other things are going on. Bo, you have people out gathering information. In the first week, you end up one of the Breleven. You know what? Who is he? Give me a name for this character and what they're about.
This is Trisanda, and she was a baker in Mevon, but actually comes from a long line of people that were like thieves and had done a lot of like underground stuff. But
Ooh, and that's why she's on this adventure, because her family was killed when the Thieves Guild was destroyed during the Mavodian arc. She has nothing left tying her to Mevon.
She got a little kick in the ass, but she's just like, I can't just sit here and make bread. I gotta do something. My people are dead, and fucking Coral's coming to take over the city. I'm gonna get out there and do something. So she took up arms with Bo, Trisandra.
All right, Trisandra.
Yeah,
Trisandra.
Trisandra.
Okay, just making sure I was hearing it.
There.
Perfect. That's how I spelled it. All right. Trisandra ends up coming to Bo and asking if he could, come into town to an address. She gives him an address to meet up at that evening.
She's a gnome, by the way. Yeah, he'll go.
That's not shady or anything.
If
all right.
she gets an address. Like, I mean, he asks, but like, what's this address about? Where'd she find it? Who wants to meet him?
She tells him to just come on by and he'll find everything. It's intel based.
Okay. Bo will bring another person with him from the 8, and he'll make sure to tell Asa that he's going to do something tonight at this spot, and that if
I can't rescue you.
Well, okay. If I don't show up tomorrow, I guess they all just work for you now, so...
I'm not paying them.
Well, I guess they'll have to take that up with the orphans then. Alright, good night.
Good night. Don't get betrayed. Good luck.
Yeah, and then I'll go to meet Trisandra with Bartholomew, the Mavodian guard, who dreams of being a knight for a king. He is a elf. No, kobold. Bartholomew. I fucked that up. The kobold.
Love it. I actually had an idea with that that grappling feat that I posted up about having a kobold that uses fanged whips, which is like a kobold weapon, as they're grappling. I gotta make that character.
Sounds good. I like that.
All right, so that evening, you end up going to the address. It is on the poorer side of town. And when you get there, you see that it's sort of in a back alley type area. It's pretty far away from regular guard patrols, at least this time of day. You see some of the chaos and whatnot that has taken over the part of the town that is more enthralled with the Goldish uprising stuff,
Mm-hmm.
where there's not really much stability. Anyway, when he gets to the building, just as he's about to get to the front door bursts open. What is your immediate reaction to to something bursting open and about to slam into Bo?
Move.
All
Probably.
right, he steps to the side.
Probably gets out of the way and like gets ready to fight.
All right, give me a reflex save to see if he can dodge out of the way.
Okay. Hey, why is this off? What is this? For my... Hold on. I have a +1 that I could turn on. It's a circumstance bonus. I need to check a feat of mine. Where is it? There it is. Can I look at it? Hello? Okay. Whatever. Boop. 25.
All right, you managed to dodge out of the way. Only after you've moved out of the way do you notice that it is a, what's it called? A draconic being that is running past.
I run after. And I'm going to try to grab him.
Well, your first reaction was to dodge out of the way rather than engage, so he gets a bit of a lead. And as you actually realize what the heck you had just dodged out of the way of, and he starts running, yeah, you go ahead and you start running after him. Go ahead and roll me in athletics.
Oh, I'm fast.
Say there'd be one more round before this happens.
Yeah, I got 45 movement speed. I'm fast. Athletics.
Yeah, this is more about, catching up because he's already in full sprint, whereas you're going from starting to
roll that. Every time when the roll matters.
Every time. All right, he is unfortunately getting a decent bit of lead while you're still ramping up. However, a moment later, you hear a loud noise. It sounds almost like a bursting of sorts, and you see a spray of red mist from the draconic thing's leg, and it blows out from under him, causing him to collapse down onto the ground.
Did Trasanda shoot out his leg?
Yep, you look back and you see that Trasana is in the doorway, and she does in fact have a hand cannon of sorts that she has aimed and has blown off the creature's leg.
My girl. Bo just gives her a nod, and then he gives a wave to Bartholomew
to
hurry.
Sorry, that was a little bit messier than I had expected. Yeah, get him in.
Yes, of course. I'll go over and do I have rope on me? I should have rope on me. It's like rope.
Yeah, as long as you have a standard adventure kit.
Yeah, I toss my rope to Bartholomew and I say, I say, close his mouth because I know this fucker's probably screaming. We just shot off his leg, and I'm going to work on keeping him still until Bartholomew closes up his jaw, and then I'll carry him in.
All right, easy enough. You pull the guy back into the building, restrain the shock of losing the lower portion of a leg from the kneecap down is enough to more or less make him very compliant. I mean, obviously he's very violent in his reactions at the moment from pain and all that, but otherwise, he's not actively fighting you, just more reacting to the pain of having a leg shot off.
Right.
You're able to drag them back into the building, and it seems to be a sort of rundown house. Looking around the interior here, it's not well furnished, and it looks like most of the stuff that used to indicate this is a family home has been wrecked, destroyed, or in some other way, like ruined. And you see that there are a bunch of other of these dragon beings around. With a quick look, you see 5 of them, and they are all on the ground, seemingly dead.
Before I came in, so like when Trasanda shot out his leg and we went to go grab him, I would go into my bag and I would pull out my golden prince mask and I'd put on that, the half mask. Just kind of a little symbol of it. walks inside, looks around, says, "Well, you've been busy. Where did all of these come from?"
There was a holdout of Coral's people here in the town. I ended up finding them earlier today, and I had this whole thing set up. I figured I would get rid of the unnecessary ones and just keep the commander, but unfortunately, it got a little bit the better. But fortunately, you were here right on time.
Of course. All right, Bartholomew, set him up. And Bo will pull over a chair and then kind of walk around to let Bartholomew kind of rough up the dragon guy and get him in the chair.
Yep.
Why were you here?
The creature hisses angrily, still dealing with a great deal of pain. Why the fuck do you think?
Bartholomew, and I just say that knowing that he'll hopefully just punch the shit out of him or something.
Yep, there's a swift delivery of pain to punish the insolence, and the guy says, "What the fuck do you think? We're here on his orders. This is his town."
Debatable. What were you doing here?
Guarding.
Guarding what? This rundown shit
town.
shack? So you were the leftovers
What
then?
military does.
You were the leftovers, the one that they haven't killed.
Yes. Working to put this place back under control.
Right. Have you sent any others back to Coil? Or is it just all of you?
Of course we've sent it back to the city.
Can I do like a perception to see if I think he's lying?
Absolutely.
Do a little perception check. Secret or public?
It would be secret.
Okay.
Because you won't know the accuracy of the information you receive. You get the feeling that he is being... he is putting on a much braver face than he otherwise could do. He definitely did send somebody back, or at least he has that assurance. But you get the feeling that he wasn't just here to try to, like, get the city back under control, blah, 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 blah. You get the feeling that he was stranded here and hasn't been able to leave town.
Mm-hmm. Just looking at him, can I tell if he seems like one of those... I mean, he's talking, so probably not, but does he look like one of the beings that Coral's turned and seems to have, like, lost a sense of himself? Or does he seem like more just like a Dragonborn type person that's working for Coral?
He looks like one of the transformed, but one of the better transformed. Like he wasn't as erroneously mutated into this version.
Right. Bo comes closer and kind of kneels down and get eye level with him. And she says, "What were you before Coral mutilated you?"
What do you mean? I am me.
Do you not even remember your life beforehand? Your family, your loved ones, your memories? What he changed you into?
Gave me purpose, is what you mean.
Purpose? A pawn? Many different ways to form it, but the truth is the truth.
Better a pawn and being on the game board.
It's a sad way to think of things, friend. Well, you're obviously here, left to die. Him probably sending people to come here and try to retake the town, but not for you, of course. So, you do have an option. I could give you my word that you will leave here alive if you give up information that is useful and truthful, and believe me, I will be able to tell. Or, well, you seem to be adequate with playing your role as a pawn and doing what you can for the Conqueror and his raid to pillage and burn the world. If that's how you want to die, then that'll be that. But I'll give you the option. A little bit of free will that Cole took from you.
I'm terribly sorry. Hang on. I need to step away for just a second.
That's right. My speech obviously hit him on an emotional standpoint, and he needs to collect himself.
I thought it was a really good speech.
Thank you.
Solid 5 out of 10.
I was thinking, okay, all right. I was thinking, just in my mind, because I got it good as fuck, of being like, yeah, I'll let you leave here alive, and then I let him walk out, and then I kill him because I let him leave there alive. But yeah, but Bo would stick to his word. If he actually does take that, he'll probably be like, all right, go on, get.
Shot his leg off or whatever. Did he get his leg shot off?
Yeah, he's missing a leg. Yeah.
Who did that?
Trissandra.
I don't think
Cool.
he's gonna be particularly moved
No.
by much.
Probably won't. But
it's a good shot.
yeah, I mean, if nothing else, we got information that a scout has been sent to the Coral, and there will most likely be reinforcements. This gives us an in with the Sword Lords, so that's good.
Apologies about that.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
The guy looks up at you and says, "There wasn't a life before he came. He picked us up off the streets. He gave us some purpose, some reason.
I see.
I have no hope to go back to that, no will to go back to that. You might as well just kill me now."
It doesn't have to be that way. What was before? Just because it was bad then, just because he suffers something different doesn't mean that it can't be good. That we can't work towards a brevoy that is better.
Go ahead and give me a diplomacy. It's going to need to be real good, though, but
Mhm.
I'm going to give you the chance to inspire.
Roll that natural 20.
Be real
This
nice.
would be a good time for it.
Come on, Bo.
Well, 15, not bad.
31?
31 isn't a crit success, but let me see. A hard modifier to the regular DC. Yeah, I'll give that to you. That's pretty dang good. It's only off of the hard modifier by 1. Fine. What do you want to know?
You were sent here to... what? Protect Restov? Keep his rule intact? What else? There's obviously reasons. He wouldn't just remove forces, some for that matter, to a city of sword lords for just protection, or they're trying to keep people in line. There's something else. What was it?
We were here to preserve his interest in the city. He was aware that a political change in New Stettin was going to lead to discontent in other cities. We were to make sure the transition of power went uncontested.
How long ago did you send the scout back, the messenger, to call?
About a week ago, when all of this started.
And I assume that he went to the Gnarl Marches, or was Coral back in New Stettin, or somewhere else?
To New Stettin, where he rules on high.
That makes sense.
We wouldn't send him into the Gnarl Marches, not with the circle there. It's certain death at this point.
Has the circle been giving you that much trouble?
That's putting it lightly.
I see.
Rumor has it they took out hundreds of us in the first day.
Hundreds? This circle is giving you that much problem?
They have.
Interesting. Are there any more of you around here, or was it just this house that was left over?
I'm only aware of our contingent. We got ourselves together and we did our best to continue pursuing our interests here in the city.
I understand. What's your name?
That's a good question.
We aren't given names.
Oh, I forgot what my name is. What is it? Oh, what was it again? It was something along the lines of...
Jimmy John Smith. The most John Smith of Smith.
Oh, here we go. This will be a solid... Let's go with Marco. They call me Marco. What about you?
They call me the Golden Prince. Tell me, Marco, did you have family before he turned to you? Friends? Loved ones?
Don't really know anymore. All I remember of those early days is constantly struggling for food, trying to survive on the streets. I lost most of that early stuff throughout the years.
It was a terrible time. For everyone in general. The direction our country's been going for a long while is something to be ashamed of. I hope that...
First it was the Golarions, and then it was the Sertovas, and all of them. They fucked it up over and over. At least this Coral Reborn offered us a hope of returning to something better.
Coral just offers what he gave before. It's just simply his grab of power, trying to reach out and take more land and then disappear again. He wants nothing more than for bloodshed. But I do understand. It's something different. It's something more. All I ask of you, Marco, is don't let your hope die just because someone offered you an easier pass. I'll let you leave. You gave us information. We'll tie off your leg as best we can and give you something to hopefully help you balance. In my opinion, take your leave during the night. Try your best to get out of town before they see who you are. Go from there.
They'll kill me before I get out of town.
They will. So, it doesn't leave you with much options, but I will say this, Marco. Despite what Coral's turned you into, you're a Brevin. Like me. Like the people in here. We want something better for our country. Our homeland. If you're willing to remember what hope feels like, and you're willing to take the hard road, I can promise you companionship. I can promise you food. And I can promise you a better future. But we are only going to take you if you truly believe in the cause. If not, like I said, we'll leave you be. And I will wish you the best of luck, my friend. But as far as I'm concerned, the transaction has been completed. It's your decision now. Like I said, Coral may have taken something from you, but I promise I will give it back. For this moment, you have free will.
Give me a diplomacy.
Right. I will reroll. $29.
He accepts that you're giving him a choice, and you get the feeling that he isn't patriotic to Brevoy. His memories of being born and raised and whatnot, the stuff that he still has to him, were of hardship, of living under, the Sertovas, which wasn't a good thing. He isn't particularly patriotic.
Mm-hmm.
He was going for, with this coral figure, because there was hope for something better, something different. And the appeal to patriotism isn't quite hitting him because he doesn't believe in Brevoy. Because Brevoy is built upon the legacy of the Rogarvians and the Sertovas, both of which have, in his memories, just been symbols of pain and anguish. So he will take the offer of attempting to just leave.
Fair enough, friend. Bo will take out some cloth, help tie off his leg best he can. He will then kind of nod to Bartholomew to just watch over him, and he'll go over to Trisanda to talk with her for a second. Was there anything else? Just these people in here? Anything else you saw or thought of?
Nah, they weren't meeting up with anybody. They were more or less just holed up in this place. I only found them because they were paying a kid to bring him food and whatnot. Ended up tracking the kid, found him here.
Good to know. This kid, does he have a family?
Not sure. Didn't follow him. I didn't follow him back to his house or anything. I just noticed that he kept coming by this place. And
fair enough. Tomorrow, do your best to stake this place out. Keep an eye out for the kid. He might have more information of what they were doing while they were here that our friend Marco didn't want to tell us.
Will do.
Bo will look back to the room, and he'll take a few steps over, and then he'll give a nod to Marco, and he'll say, Marco, I say this from the bottom of my heart, and as someone that honestly wishes for a better future for both you and I, good luck to you. And then Bo will nod, and he'll head to the door.
All right. Bartholomew is going, or sorry, not Bartholomew. Our boy Marco is going to do his best to make a what's it called? A crutch, something that he can use to help himself walk, and he is going to carefully move himself out of the house to try to find his way out of town.
All right.
All right. That is one of the bigger things that occur over the course of that month. At the same time, we have Kara back in Mivon. What's Kara up to?
All right. The tournament should be this month, correct?
Yep.
All right. Kara's goal is to go and participate in the tournament. Her main reasoning for doing that is because she wants to try to place high enough to attract people to her mercenary group that she will be forming throughout the month. The way she wants to go about getting the mercenary group is she's looking for talented people who also have decent morals, who aren't going to be like killing kids and like terrible people and stuff, who actually will be loyal to the group and such. I'm going to spend 200 gold pieces as seed money to get this mercenary group off the ground and basically get everyone geared out and stuff. They'll probably have their own gear already, but it'll basically give them their down payment on being a part of the organization.
So I guess, what's your sales pitch for why they would want to be a part of this? Like, what are you bringing to them in exchange for, effectively a cut of their earnings, I suppose? For their adventuring earnings or whatnot? Or the work
they'll be paid for jobs and stuff. But, her sales pitch
what does Kara bring to the equation that they couldn't do themselves, in effect? Like, why would they be an employee for you instead of working for, their own small group, right?
All right, that's fair. Basically, what I was counting on was the Mavonian tournament. Just like if I did well in there, people would see like, oh, this girl knows what she's doing. I wouldn't mind working with her on a mission or something. But as far as actually broadening on that pitch, I guess there's just like it's try to convince people this is getting on the ground floor is something new. We're not going to be doing like I'm looking for people who have morals. Some people who are just like we're not going to be doing every single job that's basically just kill them all and let God sort them out type thing. We're going to be picking new jobs that we're comfortable with, and that we're going to go ahead and yeah, basically just trying to I plan on getting them What can I bring to the table?
Well, what I'll say is that if you're going off of the reputation of how you do in the tournament, you're probably going to do better off with like younger adventurers, people who haven't like moved into the field yet, and you could train them, right? They're like, oh, I'm getting taught out of this. You know what I mean? If you're looking for
Okay.
people that are already, already tested and tried, have their own equipment and stuff, you got to figure out like what's going to bring them to want to like share their cut with you effectively.
All right. I guess I didn't think this through enough, unfortunately. I guess I'll use connections without kill. I can use connections without Kilvis to like possibly find people who are looking for new groups to join who might fit the bill of what I'm looking for, and just pad out the rest with young adventurers who are looking to try and test their hand.
Okay. You also have contacts where you might be able to find particularly good jobs that they might not be able to get, because you have a reputation and whatnot. Okay. Let's go ahead and do a diplomacy for this sort of sales pitch.
Let's see how this goes. Let's go and reroll that. Nah.
Okay, you're not able to get too many of the you're not able to get many that are like already battle hardened and whatnot. But there are a few people who see the benefit in the connections that Kara has with House Kilvis, as well as they're looking to get some hands-on training and some experience with stuff. So yeah, she's able to get at least a small contingent of people, but she's gonna need to like work on them for a bit to get them to where they're able to start doing big stuff.
Okay. What about the tournament? Can I attract anyone via the tournament?
Attract people at the tournament?
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll me a couple athletics checks for the performance of the tournament. Or if you want to be more performative, performance.
I'll go with athletics. 25, and I'll do another one. There we go. 34.
All right. You do particularly well in the tournament for your first time going in. And go ahead and do me one more diplomacy. This one will be with an easy adjustment because you're fighting with some of these people.
Right.
All right, it's pretty reasonable. You end up getting in total about 10 people that are willing to sign up for this and start taking some jobs and just see how this turns out. About 6 of them are more on the green side and really need some experience. The other 4 are a little bit more battle hardened and get higher up in the tournaments, in the
All right.
tournament stuff.
The last thing I wanted to do during that week is I just wanted to get in contact with Scaris and see if he can find out what exactly is going on with the Circle of Content. I ever forgetting the name, but the Druid Circle that's up in the Nar Marshes. Just see if he can find out what they're doing for her.
Sorry, repeat that again? Say the first part.
She just wants to find out. She wants to contact Scaris and ask him if he can find out what the Druids are doing up in the Nar Marches. Like why they've quartered it off, if he can find that out.
Okay. I will say that you'll get that back the next month, as Scaris hasn't been coming in as much, but he does come back for the tournament. And when you meet him at the tournament, he will say that the Circle of Kutavin is seems to be particularly irritated at the expansion of the Mavonians, or sorry, of the Brevins into the northern Gnarl Marches. And that the Circle of Kutavin, I keep saying cult just because it starts with a C.
Yeah.
And that the Circle of Kutavin has long since resisted Brevonian expansion into areas that they really shouldn't. That's a big part of them. They are primarily focused up in the Gronzi Forest, where they resist Brevin expansion, but now they decide to move down here since, they decide to move their military into the Gnarl Marches.
Okay.
It seems to be simply a step to preserve the Gnarl Marches against both Brevoy and Mivon, the two powers in the region.
Okay. That makes sense. Alright, and that's what I do for my month. I assume Dorthra keeps working on her project?
Yep.
Okay. Do I do any earned incomes for this?
You sure can.
For the tournament, do I do athletics?
I thought you already did earn income.
Well, that was last month.
That was last month. This is
Oh.
month 9 and 10, the 2 months that we're going through for before we get Maddie back.
Alright, so I spent 200 gold on getting the mercenary group up and running, so I'm gonna go deduct that for... And I'll go ahead and do the same thing I did last time, DC level 7 athletics check for the duels and stuff in the tournament, I guess. Fuck it, let's do the 30 days. Another critical success. I get 90 gold.
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah. I want to make money. Alright, and that's me for that month.
One more second.
Oh, the actual group name of the mercenary group that she's forming is going to be called the Night Sky Legion. The Night is with a K.
I think you need a flying mount, sir, to justify that name.
Oh, we'll get it. We'll get it.
Or doesn't count.
What, core doesn't count?
Because Core's a dragon, I assume at some point they'll get wings.
No. We need a flying mountain. Big mountain in the sky. It's just a dwarf citadel that just rises from the surface of the earth. You there, Sus? Oh, you must have stepped out.
All right, back. Sorry about that.
No problem.
All right. So let's see. We have Kara setting up her mercenary group. We have the rest of house getting built and all of the looking in and into the movements of coral in the region, and we have Maddie's adventure southward. So unless we have anything else to do in particular for this month, I'm going to move on to Maddie for the last part of their voyage. All right. Maddie, you continue on the following... Yeah, excuse me. The following day, you get up, you're outside of your house, you're able to see which way is south, you know which way is south, and you start heading down the river that way. Is there anything in particular that you're doing along the trip? Are you, like, trying to find another boat now?
I'm going to assume finding another boat probably isn't really viable. If I run across a town with a port, cool, but otherwise I'll just continue following that river until I find a town or find the lake. One of the two.
All right. Let me pull up that map again, so we know where exactly we are. All right. As you were traveling down the river, yeah, you don't find too many ships, at least not originally. But after about a day or two of travel southwards along this river, you do start seeing a few boats coming northwards. Doesn't exactly help you, but if you ever want to, call for a boat and ask them something, you could always reach out to them.
Nope, I'll just keep moving south.
All right. You keep heading south by foot until eventually you...
By horse.
Oh, by horse, by magic horse.
Yeah.
You eventually come to an area of the river where you see that there is a large bridge crossing it.
Okay.
Yeah, big old stone bridge. There's a decent number of people on it.
Going east and west? Or going north and south?
Going eastwards across the river.
Alright, well, there's people on it, so I'll
There are.
go quickly ask people what the bridge is about and how do I get to Absalon.
All right. As you ask some people going across the bridge, like, oh, just keep heading south. You're not too far from Casimir. It's just a couple miles down the road over that way. You see that this is the bridge that crosses the southernmost points of the Selin River to get you onto the east bank where Casimir is.
Alright, then I will do so.
All right, and before too long, you end up in Casimir.
Awesome. At this point, Maddie will attempt to charter one more boat to get to Absalon. Also, warn them about the giant fucking elementals that we're fighting in the river. I'm assuming they're gone at this point, but just, probably should have warned those boats that were heading north. Oh, well.
All right, and you're able to charter a boat to cross the river cross the lake or sea to Absalom. Luckily, it's not too hard to find that. A lot of ships leave here to head into Absalom. In fact, this is kind of like the southernmost port that regularly goes to Absalom.
Awesome.
All right, and over the following month, you will complete the rest of your journey without issue. The ship takes a wide trip around the Isle of Kortos, and then approaches along the southern side into the city of Absalom proper.
Okay.
The city has, when you reach it, a rather sizable dock. Easily 3 or 4 dozen ships could dock in this place, and it would work reasonably well. You see that there are banners all over the place. The banner is of a winged eye with 3 crowns, one to the top left, one to the top right, and one to the bottom center. And yeah, you are officially able to leave the boat and get to Absalom, into the city proper.
Okay. Then at this point, Maddie will find an inn or a tavern. Maddie's gonna make the decision that like every 7 days she's gonna transition to a different inn or a tavern, since she doesn't know how bad it can get. And then at this point, Maddie will just basically start spending funds and spending time and start gathering up all the knowledgeable resources that she can that she came down here looking for.
All right, cool.
And I'll put together that list and send it over during the week, and with some prioritization on priority, so that obviously the all the money I have, it'll go into those things as whatnot.
Investing in resources, getting stuff for the library, and all that. Okay.
Yep.
Works for me. All right. Then, by the end of this next month, Kara, you're gonna have a couple people ready to start doing some adventuring work, some mercenary work. Up in Restov, your house will be complete by the end of the this second month, which should be month 10. So by the end of June, house is ready. Maddie's job is done. And Kara's mercenary group has its footing.
Asa gets word back that Maddie made the journey. She did it.
I'm so pleased. How many books did you buy me?
I'll let you know. Guys, this is gonna be a 5-month journey there and back. The tops. 5 months later, I made it.
I'm there.
No, I just made it. I still have the other half now.
We believe in you.
I lost so many boats.
All those poor people. So many people confused. So many people wildly off course. You just wreaked havoc all the way down. They're gonna talk about that wild year that getting to Absalom was just absolutely fucking awful.
Someone's gonna talk about that time a boat fell out of the sky and onto their house.
Uh-huh. Gonna happen.
Okay. So by the end of that month, all this stuff is set up. I think that's pretty much everything that I have prepped at this point. So I will need to talk to you, Joe, about what we're gonna do for getting Maddie back in an expedient fashion.
Yep.
If Bo, Asa, and Core have anything in particular they want to set up for that building, for your base of operations, let me know, and we can work on that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing for Kara. Otherwise, we will next session try to get the party back together, presumably in Rostov, and then we can just go right into that.
Cool.
I have been keeping everybody apprised of what we're doing. If nothing happens that Lunaria needs to know, I will send to Maddie and Kara and the orphans as often as I can.
Yeah.
Just to tell them what we're doing and make sure everything's going well.
Makes sense. Alright, unless anybody else has anything, that's all that I have that I'm going to do for the day.
All right,
You'll
that
have
sounds good to me.
scenes or anything you want to do, by all means, but otherwise, that's it for the night.
Awesome.
Okay, yeah. And that basically brings closed our downtime, right?
Yep, that should be the end of our downtime.
We did it, guys. We beat Civ.
I liked having the 1 year of downtime. I thought it was really cool, a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just didn't want to have us constantly adding stuff without actually getting to resolve stuff.
And that's 100% fair.
Yeah, and then alternatively, I do think there's a tendency for campaigns to want to talk about every single day and be like, all right, what do we do today? And then every single day, it's just like, okay, we can fast forward this a little bit, so.
Yeah,
and I didn't want to get caught up on that.
I'm gonna make mercs.
Plus, I want you all to be able to sort of like establish yourselves in the world with more than just like the things that you do in Adventuring Day, but have the Prism Guard, have your mercenary crew, have like things that exist in the world.
Yeah. If Bo finds me orphans, I do start organizing them in the exact same fashion.
If at first you succeed, just fucking repeat the steps.
Getting things started is always the hardest part. Then you get to start building stuff up, it'll be nice. I don't know, glad everyone got to do a bunch of cool stuff.